Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Dementia and Co. I'm Jamie. I'm Allison, and we've got some very special guests with us here today. Yeah. So, in continuing our Dementia and Co series with persons living with dementia and the care partners, today we have my dear hero, Mr. Tay Xiangling, and my very good friend, sister, Miss Chui Foong. So, Xiangling, can you just maybe start with telling us about your family? How many do you have children?
Okay, my name is Shiang, and this is my wife, Chui Foong. We have three children, and two boys, one girl. The age is 30, 28, and 26.
And you are fairly
Yes,
closely knitted family. So when did you notice that there was something not
I guess it should be somewhere around 2017. At that time, I thought she's slow, and I have the impression that because I work in an oil and gas company, safety is our number one priority, and I always bring back that safety first, whatever it is. And I thought I thought I'm successful in coaching her in terms of safety mindset. And she's slow and she will do, but I thought after a while it's like a bit abnormal. She tends to forget certain things, and then we thought maybe it's good to go and see a doctor. And then we went to a polyclinic, and then they refer us to NNI, and they did a scan and find that I think there's some shrinkage in that. And I think that was somewhere in 2018. Yeah.
Oh,
So
so
that's how
actually you're
we,
quite lucky. Yeah, your journey was quite short for the diagnosis. Within a
yes,
few months,
yes.
you have
It
been
was quite
diagnosed.
fast. I mean, it was quite fast to jump into the conclusions, to say that,
Yes.
oh, she got these problems. Yeah.
Do you know what kind of dementia does she have?
Yes, yes. I think that time they told us is Alzheimer, and then
Uh-huh.
this doctor is saying that, oh, there's this amyloid protein that brought, and then it will
Yes.
slowly kill off the cell or something like this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we I mean, in a way we know what kind of dementia. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And how did you feel then?
How did I feel then? Um, I was quite. I think we were quite sad, definitely, that especially she was at quite a young age, right?
Yes.
Especially when the doctor said that, um, how should I say, young onset. This is considered as young onset, and the next thing that they frighten us or is like, oh, for young onset, the degradation will be a lot faster than a person that is above so-called 65.
Right.
So
Right.
that is another so-called another blow to us. Yeah.
Right. Right. And Chui Fong, at that point of time, was she in a shock? Were you in a shock, Chui
Uh,
Fong? Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think so. Definitely, I would think so. But she may know a bit more about herself. But maybe she just keep it to herself. She tends to be a person that good things she will share, then the bad things
Yes.
she will keep it to herself.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think that is the part that as a family members, we shouldn't take things for granted. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when she's healthy, that time is like, okay, she will take care of it. I do not need to worry.
Yeah. Yeah. And you didn't
I
expect
think that
that.
would be something important. I think for all of us, as a family member, we got to know our so-called family member well, their body language or whatever it is. I
Yeah.
tend to ignore all this. Like that, if she tell me okay, I will just take it the face
Yeah.
value. But
Yeah.
looking back, I think we could have done a lot more at the early days.
So, like, could have done a lot more. But what did you do then when after the diagnosis?
Well,
What the
I didn't do anything because the doctor said no, there's no cure, no medicines. The only thing that time they give us a hope is they were saying that there's this research program and they need to assess my wife and see whether she qualify or not, and then she
Right.
will have the opportunity to try out the new drugs. So we thought,
Right.
wow, that would be good. And fortunately or unfortunately, the assessment turned out to be, oh no, she's too good. They don't want a person to be too good, and they also don't want to be too bad. And she
Right.
just happened that at that time she was too good. Then
Yes.
don't know, few months later or just a few months later, her condition deteriorated really quite fast. So I think that is the reason why I say we didn't do enough. Uh, in a way, I wouldn't say the doctor, the part of the doctor fault. I mean, the doctor say, oh, there's nothing much can be done, but need to be socially engaged. I still don't know what is socially engaged. Go out for shopping. She
Yeah.
asked, he asked what is her preference. I said, oh, she loves shopping. Then she just said, okay, go shopping. And then I think
Mm.
after the closed door, the nurses give me a pamphlet, a long, I mean, a few pamphlets. Say, oh, these are the support that you can go to. And then I just
Right.
read a few. It's like, oh, okay. And then I put one side. I forgot everything about it. No, and
Right.
I back to my so-called the normal routines.
Right. Yeah. But there are a couple of very important points there, right? I mean, like when the doctor, after the diagnosis, they tell you number one, there's no cure, nothing.
No cure.
And yeah, and also, like looking for people for research. I've gone through quite a few researches as well, programs. I was fortunate to also I actually have very good the researchers were extremely good in really investigating my case and put me through started with one, and because I was still quite eloquent, although I missed words, I was still quite eloquent, and I being an A type, I was also able to argue, discuss, and debate about the research program. And actually, to me, the programs were not catered for people who are in mild cognitive stage. However, I also feel like you say, if we do not take action or we do not have ways of maintaining ourselves, we can go down really fast for young onset person. And it is a shame that after one diagnosis, they will tell you, oh, there's no cure. They tell me, you can come back in a year. Or one person say, oh, no, you're no problem. You can come back in 2 years. I'm like, okay. In fact,
What am I supposed to do for the next 2 years?
this doctor, when I said, he said, oh, you're unlike my other patients, you're fine. You can come back in 2 years. And I said to him, so what are your other patients like, right? And he said, oh, most of my patients cannot talk anymore. And I'm like, oh, hello, if I cannot talk anymore, what's the point of seeing you, right? And that's a shock. And I just found out from one other person that she went to see exactly the same doctor and she was told the same thing. And within that 2 years, I just went. Now the third year, they are in actually pretty
It's a very big difference.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad shape now.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that assessment, right? Now I recall something. Even I find it very strange. I mean, at that time they still allowed me to be with her when the nurse, I think the nurse did this so-called a memory test,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
for my wife, and
Right.
they were asking her to, okay, these are the 5 items, and later whether you can remember. No, actually, I would say she scored better than me, because I hear about it, and then he say, okay. After that, she said, can you repeat the 5 items? Then she can repeat maybe 4. I can't even repeat 3, even 3, And then I say, okay, that's how they conduct
Assess, yeah.
so-called
Yeah.
assessment, and then say, oh, this is considered as mild or something like that. No, then it's like,
Right.
okay, maybe I have the same problem also. So
Or
that is
worse.
also the part that I may take it a bit lightly, lor. I say, this may not be a big issue. And then of course the what doctor told me something is also quite sad. It's really, again, I mean, I asked about, okay, what is a typical so-called a patient with a young onset, and they say it's like 5 to 8 years or something like this.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that also
I was told
is
the
like,
same.
oh, okay, there's nothing much can be done, and the best is just treasure this, whatever it is.
It's time,
So
yes.
yeah, but I think after taking part in some of your so-called activity, I find that I mean, even though today at this stage, right, she will be more active, and the response is a lot better. Yeah.
Yes,
So I
yes.
wouldn't
And
say that nothing can be done. It's just that whether we are doing the right things or not. Yeah.
yep, I'm so happy to hear that. But yes, and I totally agree with you. I have gone through quite a big change myself, and also, like, you have seen so many of our other friends that when they are in, and so the social engagement actually means having people around and being able to
Yeah.
communicate with others and sharing, and also not having the fear or the shame about this disease. And yeah, and I'm really happy to see a huge change in Chui Foong and so many of our friends. What
Yeah.
is the social engagement that you have now that you think is the most effective, or that makes you
I
happy?
think the most effective is really whatever we have, the dance, definitely the dance at the so-called big crowd is more effective than anything else, because you can see it, over the Zoom. You can't really see it that much. I mean,
Right.
it's still helpful. At least we can follow, but I think as in a group, right, in a community center, or whether it's someone else or in your house, right, it's a huge difference. Right? I mean, you can sense that, okay, at least she's more responsive.
Engaged. Yes, yes, yes. And the photographs that I sent through yesterday, I'm
Yeah,
so
correct.
the eyes, yeah, and the
Yes,
full engagement and the whole smile is different. Even now, she has a nice little smile,
correct,
although she's tired. Yeah, super.
correct.
And we like to continue with those. And just that we
Yeah,
mention it for the other people listening, we do have 4 centers that we go to conduct tea dances, we call it, and we engage people with dementia, seniors, as well as and the care partners. And this is also very important. How do you feel, Xiangming, for yourself engaging in dances?
I think it's good for the caregiver also. It's a opportunity to relax, right? And it's also opportunity whether it's to help out in other people. I think it's both way, right? So it's a mutual win-win, right? We bring some positive energy, someone also share, and that there's some synergy in it, and it brings a bigger energy. I would say yesterday dance was particularly fantastic. No,
Yeah, well,
we
I
start to
can
see
agree.
that people just automatically stand out, sharing with others how to do the right exercise, and the
Mm.
participants are also more responsive. I mean, I saw this uncle, 80 something or whatever it is, and
Uncle Thomas,
initially
yeah.
he's not
Oh,
able to
auntie.
do this so-called correct. He will
Mm.
just press, and we say, no, you try one finger at a time. And it took him a while, and after that he was able to do it just like that.
Yes. And it's the
So
same.
so that's
Oh, and
really fantastic, no?
yes, yes, yes. And I also like you that you mentioned it because, like, not only he can do it, and that's helpful. This is
Yeah.
neuro exercises, but it makes you so happy, right? It makes me, I
Yes,
was mentioning
definitely.
before we kicked
Correct.
off that I was so
Correct.
happy watching you engaging with the other people and also supporting others. And I thought, wow, this is the journey that I really wanted to create. That we, like just the two of us is not enough. And now our members, our care partners are all playing a big part and
Yeah.
enjoying it. So
Yes.
it's really,
Yes.
really,
Correct.
really cool. Yeah.
Correct. I thought it's important for the caregiver to have that so-called positive energy, and then they can walk the journey better.
Yes, yes, because everybody is saying, "Oh, you're not alone," and what
Yeah.
we hear from the society is, "Oh, you're not alone." I'm also going through it, and everybody is like quite negative
Yeah.
until we get into, "Hey, I know we all have our challenges, and I really admire you, Xiangling, for really, boldly taking Feng everywhere and engaging her in communication, like dining, walking for miles, really for like 2-3 kilometers,
I
no
need to
problem."
compensate all the wrong things that I did.
Love it, Trifle. I love that smile and the laugh.
Actually, there's another thing that I thought maybe is also something important, right?
Yes.
Uh, not that I did not send or we did not send her to so-called care center, but sometimes it's not so appropriate, right? And for example, the center that we went to, at that time she was quite okay. Also maybe timing as well, right? She was quite okay. She's not able to mix with the people. No, they are a lot more senior than her, and a condition some could be better, some could be poorer. And I guess the other thing is I'm not generalized as saying that all the care center worker, because they are just doing a job. But I guess there's a bit different in yesterday. We are not being paid for. It's really out of the passions, right? You do it, all the others care partner, they can sense it also, and everybody starts to do it automatically without being even told, no, hey, you go and look after this or you go and look after that. We will just automatically do it. I guess that could be one of the big difference, right? So when you engage in those so-called activity versus a center, is like, oh, can you do this or whatever. I like the way you commented about we cannot control your mind, but at least start with the physical. But I guess maybe some of this is not even being practiced in some of the centers.
The strange thing is, yes, I did meet Chui Foong and your daughter at this center, the daycare,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
was actually assisting the founder in creating a program, and that's where also I introduced dancing in that club. They have singing before, and I introduced dancing as well, because I think the combination is very important to sing and also to be active and
Physically and to move.
yes,
Yeah.
and to engage with each other as well. That is part of the reason why we created Dementia & Co. We feel that it is the heart and the exchanges that is important. And like I mentioned yesterday, and every day I say that, thank you to all of you, because without the community, I will be far worse than today. And people do not understand that how grateful am I to meet so many people in the same journey, and that we're so open. We have genuine friends. We are completely open with no strings attached, and it's such a wonderful feeling. Then you free your heart, and then you feel better automatically. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, especially for you, who is so courageous, and also when you mentioned earlier a discussion about, yes, other people watching both of you are actually encouraged, and they feel that there's more hope, right? Because
Yes.
like people were always ashamed or afraid that, oh, the society may look at me
Yeah.
differently, or look at my loved ones in
Yeah.
a different eye, and maybe I should
Yeah.
not go out. No,
Yeah.
but and you're showing them it is possible. Tell us how
Correct.
you feel when you are showing off
Yeah.
your
Well,
life and yourself.
I mean, honestly, I say that many times. I'm not a good caregiver, and until someone told me that it's a so-called inspiration to them. No? I mean,
Yes.
even at this condition, you're still willing to still willing to bring her up. And the other thing is not just me, right? It's also Chui Fong herself. She's also willing to go out, even though it's very difficult. Not easy for her to walk. Sometimes the bus driver park the so-called the bus so far away from the curb, she's not able to just leave her leg. And of course, there are a lot of helpful people around. They will automatically come in and help out and help her to move. And I thought, not a big problem. I can always bring her out. And I even have a stranger come to say, hey, I give you the money. Take a cab. I saw her so difficult. I say, oh no, the cab sometimes could be even more difficult. Bus is easier, bigger. Can just walk in. It's a lot easier. But that got to show that, I mean, Singaporean, I would say, mostly are very so-called compassionate, very helpful and very thoughtful.
Yes.
And after the few, I met a few, and then they told me, wow. And I said, maybe I should bring her out more often to let these people know that, yeah, even though she's not vocal, but as long as she's still active and able to walk, yeah, I will bring her to whatever place.
Wonderful,
and thanks to
wonderful.
you, I got to know more people, and then they start to
Yes.
tell me, okay, there's this activity, what
Yes.
memory cave, go and sign out.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I
yes,
sign
yes,
out.
yes. Yeah, extremely. So that's the other thing, that taking a bus or walking actually is much better than taking a cab, because you're doing also the
Yeah.
exercises, right? And yeah, and Shui Foong is like, I can go. I really
Yeah.
Yes,
applaud her
yes.
for it, and
Yeah.
yourself.
It
And
kind of reminds me of what you said actually to me, that always show you, that it's not just, of course, it's wonderful for you and for Auntie Chui Feng to like be going out and having that experience. It's also wonderful for you to be seen, like for people to see you. It's good for other people to realize and learn that that is,
yeah, it's
possible and
natural. It's
natural.
natural.
And yeah,
It's
Yeah,
a both way kind of motivation, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Initially do it out of a guilt, but then after a while it's like, no, I'm also helping other, and I also get good.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
I
It's
think
quite fun
for
for it.
Chui Fong also, she will feel how should I say, more motivated, right? Especially a stranger, tell her 加油, wow,
Yeah.
her smile will come out.
Super. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have to say that there is a huge change also since you retired and have more time with Chui Fong. Uh, full livelihood has changed so much, and sorry, I want to mention this not to make you feel guilty, but also to really uh, applaud you for, like, after you retire, you really spend your full time with her,
yeah,
and to the public, to people, to others, that being there is not important, but being really fully present and understanding her. And I will ask you later on for your the time of your frustrations. But yeah, just being fully there and being yourself is so important. However, any kind of your own feelings, to be real is so important. So I want to go back now to your frustrations and the time when you are yourself. And can you share
Okay.
some of your experiences?
Yes, I can start when she was just diagnosed. At that time, I have this really very naive thinking that, people say they will be like a child, then so a child, then maybe need cleaning, so that they can be better. So I think that is a wrong move that I did. Sometimes when I cannot tolerate, it's like, hey, how come this thing yesterday you, especially when her so-called degradation getting faster, a certain thing is like yesterday was able to do it, next moment she can't do it anymore. Then it's like, okay, maybe need some spending in order to bring her out. But I think that is definitely a wrong thing. And the other, definitely that one made me frustrated. And I think it took me a long time to accept it, and then to move on. No, things can change, and should enjoy every moment that she's capable of, instead of looking at what she can't do. Always focus on what she can do, and keep her maintain on whatever that she can do, as long as she can. And that's why the only thing that I would say is walking. She's really very willing to walk, and I will continue to let her walk. I mean, a lot of people come in and offer, say, I buy you a wheelchair, go and see the MP, get a free wheelchair or whatever it is. I said, no. That's not the point. The point is, if she can walk, she will walk until she cannot walk anymore. Yeah.
If she
So I
continue to
think that
walk,
is
then
also,
she will walk much longer. Yeah.
yes, correct. And I think that's also important. No, don't get frustrated over things that they were not able to do, but focus on things that she can. Sorry, I mean the person with dementia that can do, and continues to encourage, and continues to so-called explore those activity related to those that they are able to do, so that
Yeah.
she can maintain a lot longer, rather than you will just
Yeah.
die off.
Exactly. So just to add that, sorry, I picked on the frustration, but if you should get annoyed at certain point of time, or you should be frustrated,
it is fine because all care partners are human beings. So anybody out there who who may even have a temper and like kind of like push or scolded the person, it is okay. And from the first podcast we hear from Kit also, that he's when he suddenly realized and apologizing to Pei Hun, I thought that was so beautiful. And just to know that it is okay when you realize that is something that is not right.
Yeah.
Really apologize to the person because like if you're frustrated with me, Jamie, and then you apologize, I feel so much better that we have cleared this thing.
Yes.
And also you will feel better and you don't have to hold it into your heart.
Correct.
So yeah, don't feel that you are God or you're perfect. It doesn't have to be.
That it is real. It does happen, to feel frustrated, and you have to clear it properly and move forward.
Yes. Because that's
Yes.
something that many care partners have in mind.
And
And the
I
other thing
thought,
is, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I thought the community is important, right? So the more you hear about it, the more I feel more guilty. I would say it's like everybody treat their loved one with real good care, and I take it very differently. But I think each time when I see that, I think I'm doing a better job.
Yeah. So the more we share, the more everybody feels comfortable.
And to have
Yes.
those examples of what that care can really look like. I mean, it's hard sometimes because I feel that, especially with doctors or with other like places, institutions, that we're not shown what caring for someone looks like exactly, right? It's just, okay, you have to care more for this person. And then you are told the very practical thing or the very logistical things. You're going to have to, maybe find a way, the mobility aid or that kind of thing. Rather than like, how do you really care for someone?
Emotionally, especially.
Emotionally, yeah, there are not that many examples.
I think that's the key word is the emotion, the heart, not the head, not the whatever. And if that is taken care of, right, the rest, I think somehow the body is fantastic. They'll be able to do a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I feel that the sharing that we have, either at our home or when we go walking, just together or at the YOD club, and it's the same thing. The sharing is very important. Yeah, and I really love it when Chui Foong, when you said, "Oh, I didn't even realize that Chui Foong is still thinking about her mom." Can you
Yes,
share
yes,
that?
exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
never know
in that
how much they
occasion,
feel.
yeah, I mean, in that occasion, I thought it's really good that you asked the question and ask her, and I see, well, she even cried, right? So she knows
Yes.
about it. Not that she doesn't have feeling. It's just that she may not be able to verbalize it. Yeah. So I
Right.
thought that is something that at least I won't regret. I did bring her to sell.
So just also sorry, to share with everybody that, now she's thinking of, now to share with everyone that do not take us when we're not able to speak or that we are in a different stage, that we don't feel. We
Yeah.
feel a lot. And so find different ways of communicating with us and also give us time. We need more time to express ourselves, and we need more patience from you. Chifo, I'm sorry I mentioned your mom. But you can see she really feels it immediately. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Xiangling, can I give you a
Yep.
hug, okay? Chifo. Yes. Big hug. Yes, Xiangling, thank you. Yeah. I was going to ask you about other challenges. You feel that the society has actually been also quite helpful. Have you come across people out there who are not so helpful? Are there
So
other
far,
instances?
so far, I have not encountered, I would say, Singaporean or even those foreigner that working here, they are all very helpful. I never worry about if I get into a train or bus that no one want to so-called give way to give out their seat to Chui Fong. In fact, sometimes they may even give out the seat not for just Chui Fong, also for myself as well. And I always told them, no, I'm okay. I just need her to be sit down. They say it's okay. You can sit here so that you can look after or whatever it is. So not a problem. I think in Singapore, generally, I would say I have not encountered a bad guy in my journey of looking.
Yes. Actually, I think also when we believe that there are good people out there, we tend to see the good side of people and they will come out. Yeah. And so do not fear about the society for all of us. Like when I was diagnosed the very first day we walked out of the clinic.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
You said don't be ashamed of you and show you to the world.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, and then I watched you demonstrating what I wanted to do. Anyway, when I get there, Jamie knows exactly what to do.
I will have to admit that, right? Initially, how should I say? I did feel that we are causing trouble to the others. No, so like for example, get to whatever bus or whatever, I will just carry her or whatever it is. But I think that will deprive her of trying. And then later on, I realized that the general public, they are okay. It's slow, and a lot of times they say, no, it's okay. Take your time, and they don't. I have not heard any bad words say, hey, well, it's a waste of my time, kind of thing. So far, I think the experience is very good in Singapore, I would say.
Yes. Yeah, super. And let the Singaporeans know it's fine. Bring your loved ones out, and there are lovely people out there. Yeah.
Yes.
I
mean, I do know, like, for example, sometimes the activity is like during the peak hour, and then I will just tap the MRT card or whatever it is. But if it's to those ulu places at the MRT station, nobody, I will still let Chui Foong try, to tap the card to bring her out, so that it will give her an opportunity, but it will not cause any delay to our general public.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Very good. And also, what are your this is maybe difficult. What are your biggest fear and concern for the future?
My biggest fear, I'm not able to look after Chui Foong.
Yes. That's another very, very important point, right? All care partners, many of you think they are heroes. And you never know if something would happen, then what would your loved one be like? And the encouragement is we all need not just one person, we need a whole big circle of support. Go ahead, Xiang.
Honestly, I mean, it's not something that I thought about it until in one of the YOD you mentioned about it. What's the plan? Then I started to realize, is what happened if I go before her? Then, although the family member knows she got the condition, but like you say, right, they have not, except my daughter, handle I mean,
Engaged with her.
except my daughter engaged with her, right? My two sons is just once a while. Hey, mommy, okay, bring you to the toilet, no. But it's not a full time, and I thought that may be something that's important to let them try first. So after the conversation, when I thought about it, I think actually that could be the biggest fears that I have.
Yes. And maybe it's still time to have them be engaged.
Correct.
And I also want to emphasize that it's very important for the children and even the grandchildren to be engaged, because I feel that it makes the person a much stronger person and more confident for themselves in the future, because they know the journey, they know it can be supported.
Correct. And I think it's important when you talk about the caring is not just temporarily, not like we engage someone coming for 1 to 2 hours, but maybe it's good to have the experience of the whole day, right? Because the mornings, the night, and the afternoon could be a different challenges that the person the caregiver need to face. So it's good to have the complete pictures, so the best is to have hands-on practical.
Yes, completely. Yeah. Can I also ask you, what is the biggest challenge that you have right now?
My biggest challenge, honestly, is still myself. when I'm with a big group, somehow she's also a lot better. So and but when she's alone, then she will start to make a lot of noise. No, if it just feel like I'll just feel very frustrated, and I've been telling her, if you keep quiet, I feel very so-called regret, no, remorseful that I didn't do a lot of things. But when it's not, I totally woke up, right? So I think that was my biggest challenge. That how do I deal with that situation calmly, patiently, and not aggregate her condition or whatever. I'm still learning on that.
Yes. But thank you for being so honest. And I'm sure many care partners feel that as well, and it's fine. Yeah. And so it's also good to learn it that we actually have some power to change a bit of that. So we have to engage you with a lot more activities and create more opportunities for gatherings, right? And I'm so happy to hear that because I'm a party queen, so let's have more of those
Yeah.
gatherings together. And just on the last note, what would you like to share with the community? The number one, maybe to families living with you already shared so much, but any last words for families and then the society?
Families, okay. I would say, especially from the moment that you get diagnosed, uh, it's really important to know the person living with dementia, his or her habit. Put it this way, maybe I can quote an example. Like even wearing a pants or wearing a t-shirt, different person have different style, right? And my style may be very different from Chui Foong's style, right? And and there's tendency that you got to do it my way, right? Rather than I had to change myself to do it her way, right? Because it's a lot easier. I think that is something that I struggle a lot initially. It's like I will do it this way. She must do whatever way that she feel more comfortable, right? And
Exactly.
I think that is something that is important so that it make the person. I think it help both way, right? It gives the so-called the caregiver an easy way out, and then the recipient also is like a lot easier to accept it. There's something that, for example, even like feeding her, I can eat big mouthful, but she's not. You put a bit more of it, she will just spew out, and then I start to get angry. It's like just small little piece, but that's her habit. Or since when she was well, she's like small. She can eat a long time, but she will just small bite. So I think that is something is important for family member to start to notice, right? What is her preference? What is her way of doing certain things, right? Then that will
So
be a
important.
lot easier, right? Later on, continue the same way of doing things, so that you are not impose something on it. I mean, like some things that I thought, okay, I did heard about this. Oh, must be a routine. But then to me, it's like, okay, routine, left leg first or right leg first. I want right leg first, but she will not do right leg first. She will do left leg first. And then
Yes,
after a
yes,
while,
yes.
it's like
It's her
you
routine,
make
yeah.
her confused also. No, if she just do it like okay, you just support a bit. But after a while, it's like, oh no, I think she should just do whatever she want, right? She want left leg, let her do it, and that's her usual way. Rather than no, this is how I wear it, and I must impose my so-called my way of doing things on the person
Exactly.
with dementia.
Yeah. Let go of your own habit and know her.
Yes. I think got to learn her habit and do it that way. I think it's a lot smoother also, right? Rather than
I
hey, can you do it? Must be right leg first or the right. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I think that's so lovely to sort of work with someone's habits instead of against them because, like, neurologically speaking, your habits are so ingrained. It's one of the things
Yeah.
that you can hold on to when other things are maybe being lost.
Yeah.
So if we try to change it, that gets lost as well, and you lose a really important part of the brain that can help you to maintain your other things, is like the part that keeps your habits. So that's
Yes.
lovely that you're keeping that part of that brain alive and active.
If I may also go into a more uh, challenging part that I mentioned at the YOD meeting, that medically we have to check that the person is in better condition all the time, especially with the eyes and teeth, of course, the whole system. But the very important thing I find after working with so many people further down the road is to really know the person very privately. Of course, for a husband and wife is easy, but for even a daughter and a mom, it's quite challenging. And for a son with a mom or a daughter with a father, even more challenging. But I think from the very beginning, I always advocate for people to try to be, I use the word intimate, but it's not, to be able to look after the person more intimately. For example, in the digestive system, I mentioned this quite a few times, in poo and in pee, because those are extremely important in the health and hygiene of the person. And people never think of it until it is too late. And it is so difficult for me, for example, if you have never touched me before, that really would really break down my nervous system.
Yeah, to have someone, I mean, that would be scary for anybody.
Correct.
And then especially if you don't understand why,
Yes.
to have someone come in and be even just checking your like bowel
Or even
movements.
if they're not used to you and you lift my blouse or take out my pants, I freaked out. So those are the things I think we need to discuss when the person is in a milder stage, and also if further down the line, try to practice a little bit more and share, showering together. It sounds so far out, but these are very practical things that I encourage people to also do. And
to
like also
just be
with
aware of the presence of the person, that it becomes, at least the body recognizes,
and more
or the
acceptable.
habitual of like, oh, I'm showering and this person is also in the room.
Yes.
I'm taking a shower right now and it's not strange to me that this person is here. That needs to start happening sooner. And it's like you said, it's obviously that's much easier between people who are married and people,
but a daughter and me. So.
Not necessary, no. So even though husband and wife, okay, if I'm a bit exceptional. Certain thing I don't even know what she's doing. No, it's like okay, we can be sleep in the same room, and this is the way I don't even bother. So I think it's important, for the partner, especially husband and wife, don't take things for granted, right? So even a little small step in wearing a t-shirt, the way she wear and the way I wear could be completely different. And I may not have, I would say I never pay attention to all these kind of detail, right? And when you need to use it, it becomes very difficult. So I think you brought out the right points, right? Start to build that habit when they are still okay. So at least they can remember it. And I remember you said that in the YOD as well, right? Yeah, even though the end could be whatever, but at least it's her decision. And I mean, let her know, okay, these are the options that at least she can decide when she's still all right, mentally, capacity is still there. Rather at the end part, then it's like, okay, I think it's like this, I think it's like this. I don't even know.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. And also, what are your advice for the society, Sally? For people who are meeting us, how can the community support us and also learn more from us, I guess?
Yeah, I would think is we have to accept so-called different kind of disability, right? So some are more obvious, like handicap, blind. People can see it, but all these mental illness, and sometimes because not outsider can't tell that, right? And you may have so-called what's that? People that young kid make noise, but older people, when they get into this so-called dementia, it could be one of the symptoms as well. So they need to be more tolerant. I think it's important also for society to understand that there's this thing called young onset, that maybe not so obvious from the outside, but they just need to be more receptive, I would say. And the other things, as I say, I mean, initially when she was okay, I don't even notice that how far away the bus is away from that so-called from the curb. No, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody are able to do it, but when she become weaker and weaker, even just missed by maybe a centimeter could be a bit difference to the
Yes.
person, right?
Mhm.
And the other things to me lah. In the past, it's a waste of money, or it's a what? Why do you have this so-called handicap toilet? Oh, now I love handicap toilet.
Yes.
And
We should have
of
more
course,
of those.
sometimes when you go there and then you say it's occupied, then after that the person came out is fully able. It's like
Able-bodied, yeah.
you have wasted some of the stress
Yes.
that the person will
Yes,
need.
yes.
So I guess, I mean, use the facility the right way lah. I would say, like for example, in the MRT, the lift, really leave it to those people who really need to use it. But I do see some people. I mean, if nobody is using it, it's fine. But when there's a big group of people who really need it, although there's always a priority given to this group of people, I do notice some people, maybe they're also in a hurry or whatever, not intentionally, they will just squeeze it in.
Yeah, I think the term is like being in a hurry and having the necessity is different. Yeah.
Correct. And I thought maybe the other thing is really the hospital, right? So the first thing that we engage is really the hospital, the nurses, the doctor. And maybe they should be a bit more positive.
Yes.
Other than, okay, there's nothing can be done, and okay, you go back 1 year later or whatever month, come back.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I think maybe they will need to stress how important is that social so-called activity that may prolong the degradations. So I think to me, I think that's something important. We got to start from there and say that, hey, it's not the end. It's just a start of a newer journey, right? But then this journey can be prolonged, right? On the more positive side, it's like, okay, it was shrink, and then after that, that's the end.
No,
the
and
end.
also introduce the different social groups that people can participate in.
And also depending on, I would say, depending on the person, right? If let's say like young onset, maybe you refer the person to the young onset. But I guess maybe that is rare or whatever reason. If not, you go to a group like when you are just diagnosed, you are fully capable, and then you go there. Come on, this is the life I'm going to be. I think it's also can be quite demotivated. So, but when you put let's say all the young onset together, I think it will bring a different energy, right? Different kind of mindset.
Actually, the Young Onset Dementia Club is the only one in Singapore right now. And it came about because Dementia and Co, we have always, you started with from our home. I took you in from the daycare. And that's the way we operate. We meet in very private setting, have good exchanges, and then have activities, then we go out for outings, etc. And very fortunately, Dementia Singapore was kicking off a new program, and we've taken this whole program in, and that's why they got me as the advisor. And that is the only club right now in Singapore. And I'm really happy that now we've set up the second session. And the plan is that we will continue to set up new sessions. And also from here, we like to advise everybody to contact Dementia Singapore or contact Dementia and Co to have an opportunity to enroll for our YOD club, because that is the only one. And I have emphasized many times to the various authorities that we should create more of such clubs for people with young onset, because that is a growing community that we need to support. And it is so important that we get to people with young onset or newly diagnosed people immediately, because the depression kicks in so fast that you can
Yes.
waste, instead of even in 1 month, you could have wasted actually 1 year of that person's.
Correct. Fully agree. And I thought that maybe, I think that's why yesterday someone also commented that you are a good living example. No? You can depend on doctors say, oh, it's going to be like this, but when you see an actual person with dementia are able to sustain that, it's like, oh, there's a hope. I think that's an important part, right? It's the hope that will bring the people going rather than, okay, you take this
And everybody
medicine,
is different.
situation get worse, I will give you a more severe
medication.
one. Right? It's
Yeah.
more of the, that could be real, but at least, right, I think it's important to have the hope given at the very, okay, if you do this,
Yes,
do
yes.
dancing, you got 70% improvement, no, wow, I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
hope is going to be a big difference, right? Rather than, okay,
Right.
and anyway, there's nothing can be done. And of course, you have people like, there are certain things are very compliant. If you say nothing can be done and you're the doctor, you're professor, what else can I do? I'm not
I
going to
listen
do
to you.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very sad.
We are very, very like we want to listen to authority figures, especially things like
Specialists.
specialists. When it's a doctor, when it's someone who studied, it feels very much like that's the only one who will know what they're talking about. So I really agree that to have that sense of hope from the beginning is so important.
No, but also like we now, Xiangling, Chui Foong, you and Jamie and I are all specialists. And we
Yeah.
call it, we are
Experts by experience. Mhm.
So,
I think we are still a small community. I think it's important, like you mentioned, what should government do more? I think this is something that at their level may be a bit easier, right? And I think it's our voice, their hope that one day we'll be able to reach them, right? Yeah, don't look at the end part of it. It's like looking at the bright side of it. How can I prolong this? Talk about how to slow down the degradation and then use some number. Okay, dancing is good, singing is good, whatever it is. So that I think the first impression is very important, right? It's like, oh, there's no hope, there's nothing can be done.
everybody
All these are
collapsed.
just treat the symptom. It's not going to bring anything. So I think I thought that's something important. The hope is really important.
Yes.
I mean, it reminds me of something you said earlier where you mentioned the doctor said, okay, let's keep her socially engaged. And you went, I don't know what that means. Like that's, to have some examples of things like you've just mentioned is really helpful because doctors tend to talk in doctor speak, they have this, they're socially
Absolutely
engaged
right.
and
Yeah, correct.
Well,
Yes.
they may
But-
know what they are saying, but the recipients are okay, socially engaged. Okay, I talk to her once
Shopping.
a 5 minutes.
yeah.
It's socially engaged.
That's why we have enjoying living with dementia, right? That's our slogan. And then we want to keep that up. That we definitely have to focus on enjoying. And thank you, Xiangli and Chui Foong for this session because I think it's extremely important that the society hear about this. And also this will be sent also to certain authorities and hopefully they will also take some advice from here. Thank you very, very much for anything else to add? No, Chui Foong? Will he? No, no. Next time we have you sing the song again, okay? Chui Foong is a very good singer, actually, and you will be surprised that she can sing a complete song and dance with it at the same time. So next round, maybe in a few months, we would like to revisit again and have more learnings. Thank you so much for today.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for all the
Thank you.
activities.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Bye-bye.
thanks for everyone who is watching.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here as well. As we wrap up, just a reminder, if you
haven't already, do sign up for the Cara card as well as Memories Cafe at Dementia SG for more activities. And if you
want to get in touch with us, you can find us at dementiaandco@gmail.com. So that's dementia, letter N, CO at gmail.com. We're also around on Instagram. If you'd like to drop us a DM, and we'll be around if you've got any questions. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.